Hi, and welcome to another episode of If I Speak. This is a special one, actually, not a normal episode. We've got a very special guest with us today. We've got Mr. Mehul Gupta from Talking Barefoot podcast. I don't know if you guys remember, he was here with Kunal from the normal panel and stuff when Manchester United beat Man City. So I'm hoping that now that he's come on again, I hope Chelsea get another win just because of Mehul's bad luck of Man City. So I'm loving the background first, by the way. Massive win for you guys. But I have to start off with how's the season gone just generally for you guys? Because at the start, literally, I think everyone wrote you guys off to do the quadruple, and now you're in such a good position now, where it's just like you can actually do it with the results you're grinding out and stuff. But yeah, give me your thoughts just generally on the season so far.
Yeah, just firstly, thanks for getting me here. It was a pleasure last time, and of course,
And I
excited to talk
appreciate
about.
you coming on, man. Thank you.
Yeah. So just about City, like the last time I was here, it was sort of we were on that historic sort of run, winning run, and or everything was good. And then of course I think some bad omen happened when I came here that we sort of
I'm
lost.
afraid
But
the
then
same thing happens.
yeah, but I said on that podcast that I am fully expecting us to probably lose that game because that's sort of been our jinx with United that we sort of don't are not on the same page always when we play United because they play sort of such an attacking football against us. We have most of the possession, we don't score a goal, and then they go on and in that game we gave a penalty in the first minute, so it totally changes the complexion. But about City's season in general, of course, nobody thought, in November, in October, that this is how it's going to be. I personally thought that it's sort of going to be a transition season after we've lost David Silva, who's been there for 10 years. We've lost Sane. How do we replace Sane? We replace him with Ferran Torres. He's still young, still adapting. So Aguero has injury issues and so many problems sort of at City. I thought it's going to be a transition season. We'll take another probably season. Then the next transfer window is probably going to be something which Guardiola sets up a team. But then suddenly, the Southampton game, I think, sort of kick-started a run which didn't seem to stop. And we sort of got very efficient defensively. And then that translated into the attack. And then we started playing the sort of City football that we're known for all the time. And then the midfielders started chipping in with goals. Gondovan has gone another level. Cancelo's gone another level. So it's sort of individual players coming on their own this season, which has sort of given City that togetherness. Because we haven't even we've not needed De Bruyne in a lot of games. He has been sort of injured, or Guardiola's not played him in a couple of games, but Gondovan has taken everything in his own stride. So a great season for City, and I think all of that had to, be translated into the Champions League, which happened finally. The jinx was broken.
Yeah.
And so, what a relief for City fans. It was heart in the mouth stuff the entire match, again, because we made it difficult for ourselves. The early goal, Jude Bellingham, what a goal! And then, of course, we at halftime, I really thought that this is just going to be another year of pain, and I don't know I didn't know how to take that because I didn't have an answer that how is this team so good in the Premier League and the cups, and then suddenly when they start shaking in the Champions League, it just doesn't somehow work. Like, how does that happen? But this season in the Champions League as well, we conceded one goal in the group stage, then we conceded at against Dortmund in the first leg. And so two goals in the entire competition. It felt like City are here, here to do something in the Champions League. And then suddenly the initial goal. And City have a record of not coming back from when they're behind at halftime.
I didn't know that, actually.
So in the Premier League, I think it's more than 100 games. The last 100 games City have played in the Premier League where they've gone behind at halftime, we have won one game out of 100 sort of games. So that is an appalling, statistic when it comes to City. We just win all the time. But it's sort of something with City that we have to score the first goal to take the game by its neck, and we sort of build on it. And if we're behind, we get into pressure. And I really thought that we needed that comeback sort of victory, which sort of broke the shackles.
It's something different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your team basically knows how to win differently as well.
Exactly. You need to show, because I personally hate the Champions League. That
Oh,
tournament,
really?
because
Do you?
in terms of, I think it's a City fan consensus, because it's about margins, and it's
Mm.
always that you play well and there's a chance that the other team scores, because you saw in the Bayern PSG game, Neymar and Mbappe were creating a ruckus in the
Oh,
Bayern,
yeah, yeah,
and then they hit
definitely.
the post twice, and then Bayern go on and score a scruffy sort of
That's
rebound goal
true.
from Choupo-Moting. So it didn't reflect as to how because Neymar was man of the match. It's not that Neymar scored a hat trick, Neymar scored a break. He didn't score anything. He didn't even assist a goal, but he was
Mm.
man of the match because of how well PSG played. But of course, Bayern won that game. But it doesn't really reflect how the game was. So in those
Mm.
terms, that has sort of been the story with City, right? We've gone out on away goals versus Monaco, away goals against Tottenham,
Mm.
Lyon, referee decisions, VAR
Oh,
decisions. So
yeah.
there's a lot of love-hate relationship with the Champions League when it comes to City fans. And when we're so good in the Premier League, because it's about showing consistency week in, week out.
Yeah.
And in the Champions League, it's about moments, it's about margins. And you
Luck
don't
as
really.
well with the draw, obviously, as well. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, overall, fantastic season, but yeah, still a long way to go, I think, for
Yeah,
us.
yeah, to be fair, like I have to throw this on you right now. Do you think you'll do the quadruple this season? Is it possible? Do you think you'll do it? It's a straight yes or no answer, and why?
I think we can do the quadruple, of course. But if you had asked me last week, I would have said we can't. It's impossible.
Okay.
But now that we're in the semi-finals, in the final of the League Cup, it almost feels like we can do it. But there's a reason it hasn't been done before. There's a reason that
Mm.
the Sir Alex Ferguson teams haven't been able to do it. Sir Alex Ferguson himself said that the domestic treble is the most difficult thing to do. It's impossible to do it, and we were able to do it. So he said that it's just impossible to win the domestic treble, let alone the quadruple. But now
Mm.
we're at a place where we're in mid-April, and City are in all four competitions, and it can change in a week if you ask me. We can go out to Chelsea in the semi-final. We can lose the League Cup final, and suddenly we're at the Premier League, and there's a slight chance in the Champions League. So
Mm.
it's football at the end of the day, and it changes like that. So you can't really pinpoint. But yeah, of course, we're at a great position, and I think Guardiola knows, can smell it, that if
Mm.
he does this quadruple, then nobody can question his legacy. Nobody can
Nah. Even
say,
now, like a lot of people are quite disrespecting. I think
yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah,
just because of that Champions League that he doesn't have.
yeah,
But now that you touched upon competitions and losing to Chelsea,
yeah,
the reason why we're doing this obviously is because for people that don't know, obviously watching and stuff, that um, Chelsea play Manchester City in the FA Cup semi-final, upcoming this Saturday and stuff. That's why we've done this special preview for you guys, and it's an interesting game because. Chelsea and Man City have both come off a week where we've both qualified for the Champions League semi-final, so confidence will be sky high for both teams. How do you see the game going for the game for Chelsea Man City?
I think it's very difficult to call, because I still don't understand this Chelsea side. I mean,
I understand what you mean. Yeah,
in terms of looking from the outside, I look at United and I look at the games, and they grind out results. They don't play well always. They will let in the odd goal and then come back and all of that. So I have been actually impressed by United because of their comebacks and all of that stuff. That they've been unbeaten away from home in like an year,
yeah,
year and a half in the Premier League. That's testament to what they're doing. Even though, like, I hate what they're doing, but of course you have to give credit where it's
mm,
due. But Chelsea, when I see their matches, I don't really get excited by Chelsea, because
mm,
they're very efficient at the back. The defense is doing pretty good, but the attack seems lost so many times. There's no free flowing sort of game. It's all of their games are pretty low scoring. The games
yeah,
they one goal, two goals, all this. So in terms of football, in terms of the eye test, I probably say that they're not the best team to watch right now. But in terms
mm,
of results, are grinding out results. They only lost. The West Brom was sort of an odd result because of the sending off, and then West Brom kept attacking. So that was a strange game. But since Tuchel has been appointed, it's sort of been a pattern where Chelsea have been able to get out results by not playing the most attacking football. And I think what I expect from Chelsea from next season onward, or from when Tuchel gets another transfer window, or the first transfer window, in fact,
Yeah.
what I probably would want to see is that he sort of gets his attack sorted. I think first you need to get your defense sorted. That's what he's already done. That's what Guardiola did this season. We were very defensively. We were not scoring a lot of goals, and City not scoring a lot of goals is just impossible to believe. But we
That's
were not
true.
scoring
Yeah.
a lot of goals. He showed the defense. Ruben Diaz showed up the defense. I think the similar sort of thing is happening at Chelsea. That once the defense is sort of showed up, the attack will then again come on its own. And they're so young right now, and I think the attack is very young. They're playing for the first time together, the first season together, coming from different clubs. So I think it's difficult that way, and that is why I think somebody like Mount has stood out, because he's been there last season and he's taking, suddenly he's the leader at Chelsea. Who would have
Oh
thought?
yeah,
People
definitely.
were thinking
Yeah.
that Havertz is going to probably reduce his game time, that Mount is going to probably rot on the bench once Havertz is in. But
He's
now
exceeded everyone's expectations for the
he's
season. Yeah.
transcended everything. So there's something which is amazing to see. These youngsters like Mount, Foden, Saka.
Mm.
What a season these guys are having.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, going back to what you said about Chelsea and stuff, like I think what it is at the moment, because if you look at our title-winning team, say under Ancelotti and Mourinho and stuff and Conte, had that philosophy of defense first. We were sort of like defense first, then attack. Then we obviously
Yeah,
transitioned from that to Sarri, then to Lampard, which you could say worked for a season under Sarri because we did get a trophy at the end of it and we finished top
yeah,
four. And obviously under Lampard it didn't really work out. So I guess we're just going back to what our old philosophy was of defending, winning 1-0s, 2-0s, which has always been in Chelsea's DNA, and that's what's given us
yeah,
our success. And yeah, I 100% agree with you in the sense that we're a weird team because one week we get slapped up by West Brom 5-2, and
yeah,
then the week after we're beating Atletico Madrid, we're qualifying for the Champions League semi-final. So it's just strange because even the goals that we've conceded recently against West Brom, like they were really good goals as well. Like as much
yeah,
as
yeah, yeah,
we were
yeah,
at fault for some of the goals, like they were like really, really good goals, and you just have to hold your hands up. Like
yeah,
likewise with the Porto game, like they had
yeah.
nothing in the game for 94 minutes, and then
Mhm.
suddenly a Puskas Award goal happens.
Yeah.
It's just a strange one, but yeah, from your perspective, then are you worried about any Chelsea players or just our team generally
I
going
think
into the
I, I
semi-final?
think it's strange to say for City fan right now that it's probably a luxury to say that the game against Chelsea this weekend becomes sort of the least important game from
Yeah,
now of the season, because of course we are in the final of the League Cup and we wouldn't want to lose that. So Guardiola is going to put a full strength side
mm,
on that game. Then the lead setback which we've had last week has sort of made the Premier League also priority, because we have to win the next game against Villa now. Because if
mm.
we lose that game and United win their game, so then the gap could be reduced to say 8 or 5 points, and then
That's
the
actually crazy.
that's
Imagine.
actually crazy, because we were running away with it, and suddenly one loss, and then we're suddenly back on earth, thinking that probably there's a chance the United still do it. So we need to win the next 3 games in the Premier League ideally and get it wrapped up as soon as possible. That's
Yeah,
what Guardiola would want, and then all the focus will go on to the Champions League, and if we can qualify. If, the both legs of the Champions League. So I think Guardiola would really want to win the next Premier League game and sort of set the precedence that we are going to wrap it up as soon as possible. So I think the Chelsea game then gets very strange, because you're going
that's
to
what I was
probably
saying as well.
yeah
Yeah,
you're probably going to rest De Bruyne. I mean, who knows if he plays De Bruyne? He's probably
I
going to
think he
rest.
will play. To be fair, I think
Yeah,
he'll play. Yeah.
maybe he plays because Sterling is going to come back. Jesus is going to come back. Maybe he rests one of Bernardo, De Bruyne, or Gundogan. He will rest Rodri. Fernandinho will come back in.
Mm.
Walker and Zinchenko will sit. Diaz, I think, will play because Diaz always plays. And Stones will probably come off for Laporte. Laporte, he's equally capable, probably more than capable. So there's
Yeah.
not. It's not that City will play a weaker side, because no City side is weak.
No, exactly.
But
Yeah.
in terms of form, I think because Sterling is not in the best form, Jesus has sort of moments. So
Mm.
in that sense, Chelsea I think have a great chance of beating us. I really think that.
Yeah, like going back to what you said about a strange game, because that's what us as Chelsea fans look at in it as well. It's a strange game because it's our, if you look on paper, it's our most realistic chance of winning a trophy this season, the FA Cup.
Yeah.
But then you have to factor in the top four. We're not in the top four currently right now. We're currently, I believe we're fifth place at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's a weird one because if we lose the FA Cup, we're kind of like, okay, we can focus on top four in the Champions League. But then, like, same again, if we lose and stuff, it's like, oh, but we just blew our massive chance of winning the trophy. So it's a weird one because if we win, it's good. But if we lose, it's good as well in a way, which makes it really strange and weird, to be honest. Like, because, yeah, just the reasons that I said, to be honest. But yeah, I think with you lot at the moment, like, I just feel, I feel like your team can be got at because we saw with what happened against Leeds and stuff. Fair enough, that might have been like your B/C team and stuff, but if you're still Man City at the end of the day and you've got all the players there, so I reckon we should go into this with no confidence. Like, we shouldn't fear Manchester City, especially this season. Maybe if we played the City from 2 years ago, then yeah, definitely, or 2-3 years ago. But this is a different City side that kind of aging. Obviously, they've got brought in players and stuff, but it's a very experienced Manchester City team, and obviously we're defending really well. Like, I'm really confident with our defense, and I feel like we can stop City's attack compared to when we played you guys in December, because obviously we had Lampard in charge and he wouldn't budge from the 4-3-3 formation. So in that sense, it'll be an interesting game, to be fair. But I think from our perspective and stuff, it's just like I said, we should just not fear this game at all, because if we lose, we lose. If we win, we win. It's just one of those. But yeah, what do you feel confident with winning more, the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup, if you had to choose one?
Of course, the Carabao Cup, because we know Spurs' history, and the fact that
I pray you lot beat them. Honestly, like, I'll fully be a City fan that day, man. No joke.
Us to beat them, and I think the FA Cup is important because like, I've seen this thing with Guardiola, that he takes the cups very seriously, and he should be taking because of this kind of squad we have, and that we can rotate for the cups easily, and that sort of thing.
That's why I rate Guardiola over Klopp so much, just because of the competitions that he takes seriously as well. Because you don't see it, like, I don't care what anyone says, like, Klopp doesn't take the FA Cup, Carabao Cup seriously. He only focuses on the big prizes, which is good. Ambition-wise, that's really good. But you also got to factor in, like, there's these other trophies as well you could win that could support your legacy, which is why I always think Guardiola will be up there, because he wants to win everything. He wants to.
Exactly.
Yeah. But carry on what you're saying, bro. Sorry.
Yeah. So I was just saying that because, like, people, even though we did the domestic treble, people thought that it was sort of a failure season because of how we got out in the Champions League that year. So it's sort of that people expect us to win everything every season, and we do compete for everything every season. In terms of,
that's true.
We don't get out of the FA Cup in the first round or the second round or the third round. We don't do that. We reach the quarterfinal, we reach the semi-final, the League Cup. The League Cup we haven't lost in 4 years. Like, any game.
That's mad. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Like, you can have that once, and cup games, like we sort of talked in the Champions League, can be very tricky. You go to a Swansea in the FA Cup, and you can easily lose that game if they are up for it. So that sort of hasn't happened with City, because Guardiola takes all of these trophies very seriously, and that is why he's sort of built such a legacy at City, because we've already won so many trophies under him, and no sort of manager can replicate that. So I think in the back of his mind, he keeps saying, to the press that it's impossible, the quadruple is impossible, but he knows in the back of the mind that he's going to get a better chance than this one, and it'll cement his place, amongst the footballing gods, if we can say that he's the best manager the game has ever seen. So if he does the quadruple, so I think that sort of thing is in the back of the mind. But if we lose the FA Cup semi-final, I don't think there's going to be a meltdown in the terms. I don't think City fans are going to be very asked about it, because that's not our most important game right now. And the priority is the Premier League first, of course, then of course the Champions League, and then the League Cup final, which is again in no time. So it's so congested. So we don't really know. Guardiola will take every game as it comes. I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, just touching on the semi-final. I was gonna say final then, but it feels like a final. I don't know why, but yeah, touching on the semi-final then. Generally, have you got any injury news for City and stuff, or is anyone
I
out
think
or
Aguero is not there. He's had a muscular problem again.
again? Wow.
So it's a sad ending. Like it's.
I wouldn't say sad ending. Like I would just looking from the outside in. Like it's just like fair enough. He's been injured a lot, but he's already achieved everything. So
Yeah,
I
but
guess
we
at the end of
wanted
the
him
day,
to sort of be at the last stretch.
that's true because
This run.
he is a City legend, isn't he?
He's
So
a
yeah,
city.
that's true.
He deserved to be on top of this team, at the striker position. We're playing without a striker most of the time, and we have Sergio Aguero probably, getting injured and not there. So it's sort of we've learned to play without Aguero, and sometimes sad that way that we don't play with a striker anymore.
Yeah,
And we really wanted him to be a part of this city side, this run, but he's not being able to because of so many issues, COVID, injuries, all of that. But of course, if we do win the Champions League, it's for him, and we're going to
mm,
give him the Champions League and everything. So he's going to go on a high, nevertheless, and
yeah,
that's all of what we want. And we want him to score probably a couple of goals more before the season ends. Probably
mm,
a goal, if that can happen. So it's in terms of that, it's probably that sad, a little
yeah.
sad that way. But of course, yeah, a statue is going to be built for Aguero. He's going to have a massive
He deserves
farewell.
it. To be fair, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and the last game probably I think the Premier League, the fans are going to come back.
Oh
So
yes, yeah, they are, yeah,
so maybe Aguero can get a huge farewell then. So that's
yeah.
going to be cool for City fans. So,
That's all right then. But are there any other injury news for you guys, or is it just Aguero that's out?
Fortunately, we've had a pretty good season in terms of injuries. Like we're one of those sides who always have a lot of injuries.
Mm,
Last season we had Laporte missing most of the season. We had De Bruyne missing the season before that, and we've had that sort of thing that one of our main players sort of misses the entire season. This season, I think kudos to our physios. I think if they're doing a great job, that we have
yeah,
fully fit squad all the time. Like we've had Nathan Ake and all these sort of players who've been injured. Mendy and of course Mendy is probably most of the times injured and that sort of thing. But no important player, no first team starting 11
mm,
player. So that's
yeah.
sort of been a good thing for City. And they've seen with Liverpool, if they had Van Dijk, probably could have been a different story this season.
That's true. Yeah, I think with us then I think Kovacic is out,
Yeah,
potentially out for the City game
yeah,
because I think he picked up a minor hamstring injury. I think just when they were training and stuff, like a lot of reports that it was an ACL injury, but I thought that was all rubbish. So I think
yeah,
it's just a minor hamstring injury. So, which I'm kind of gutted about because I would like him and Kovacic to play, him and Jorginho, sorry, to play together because they would suit a team like City where it's high press,
yeah,
which we kind of struggled against Porto because they were exactly the same. Like, fair enough, they had to go for it, but I don't
yeah,
really rate Kante playing in the high press against a high press team. Like we saw against City, how much he struggled in that game next to
mm,
Jorginho. So that's one injury. And I think Andreas Christensen as well. I think he's just got a minor. I believe it's the same. It might be the same injury. I think maybe same
yeah,
hamstring injury or thigh injury or something. But
yeah.
defense-wise, we're sorted because we've got Zuma, we've got Thiago Silva. Obviously, that's who's back now and stuff. He played against
Rudiger,
Porto.
of course, a man changed.
Sorry,
Rudiger.
pardon? Oh,
I said,
Rudiger, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No, he has to be fair. He's literally undroppable at this point, like compared to say
yeah,
4 or 5
yeah,
months ago. Like he was at the back of the pecking order, but now
exactly.
he's like
Yeah.
he's a must starter just because he can play on the left side, which we
Mm,
don't really have. Like you wouldn't want to see Chilwell play there or Alonso
yeah,
left. Oh God, I don't want to see Alonso play left centre back. That's just awful. That's just an accident waiting to happen.
yeah,
But yeah, Rudiger's like a certain starter. Aspilicueta, those are the two that should be certain starters for us. But the central centre back can rotate between Zuma, Christensen, and Thiago Silva. But yeah, I think from our side as well, just generally in terms of Chelsea this season and stuff, like it's been so roller coaster for us because we had a
yeah,
very good start to the season, went really bad in December, like end of November/December. Then obviously we got rid of
yeah,
Lampard. Tuchel's come in now, done a fantastic job, beaten Tottenham away, Liverpool. We've qualified for the semi-finals in both competitions, FA Cup and Champions League. So it's all looking good, and I truly believe that we can win the Champions League. I think we'll do it this year, just because of the luck of our draw at the moment and the
yeah,
way we're playing. Like, if your defense is good, then
yeah.
you're more than likely to win the Champions League than if you're a goal scoring team. The only
Exactly.
thing I worry for us is, like you said, scoring goals because our chemistry up front is not the greatest. But saying that, against Crystal Palace we played last week, is the best attacking performance I saw from us. With the front three of Mount, Pulisic, and Havertz as our front three. And previously, before that, was against Everton, where we had Werner, Havertz, and Hudson-Odoi. So I think it's very obvious who's the key here is Havertz in that centre forward role. And I feel like you can give Diaz, Stones, and Laporte a hard time playing that false nine position, because you saw how sort of they've played against Liverpool with Firmino back in the past as well as like a false nine centre forward. So Christian Pulisic as well. I was kind of annoyed that Tuchel didn't make much changes for Porto, because given Christian Pulisic his injury record this season, we'd like him to be sort of wrapped in cotton wool, just because his injury record's awful this season. Like, we want him to play more, and we saw why he's really good, and we shouldn't sell him, because he's the only guy who'll come to the back post and tap in a goal. Like, you won't see Werner do that, Hudson-Odoi, they haven't got that goal poacher in them, but Pulisic is the only winger that does that. And I've always said that he's our most like Hazard-esque sort of player as well, since he's gone and stuff. So I'd love him to start, but I don't know. Playing two games in a week, I don't know, might be too much for him. And Tuchel might look at the Brighton game, for example, as being more important in a sense, because we're not currently in the top four right now, so we sort of have to win that game as well. But
so what would you take in like if you have a choice to take the top four of the FA Cup trophy?
I still think top four. I still think you have to get into top four, just because you can't guarantee winning the Champions League. It's just like, even though I've said we can win it, you can't rely on that, because we saw what happened with I think Arsenal a few seasons ago. Obviously, it wasn't Champions League; it was Europa League, where they sort of put all their eggs into the Europa League basket, and then basically bottled the top four. But then they bottled also the Europa League final against us as well. And I don't want the same thing to happen to us as well. And I don't want to see all our
in terms of the joy, Europa League. Like Tuchel winning a trophy in his first season, that'd be a huge morale booster for him.
Oh, definitely, 100%. Yeah,
there is something in the back of his mind. He would really want to go for this FA Cup, because getting a trophy in your first season, like, Arteta did it, and then Arsenal fans rate him above Ole because he's won a trophy with Arsenal. So that sort of thing. But of course, we're seeing how Arsenal sort of regressed from last season as well. So it doesn't really say that it's going to impact your next season, or next season you're going to be better.
It's all about trophies at the end of the day. It's all about trophies.
It's been about trophies, right? Even though you're not at your best, you sort of have a trophy here and there, and then that sort of consistency is always that you end up winning the Europa League in a bad season, or win the FA Cup in a bad season, even if you're not finishing the top four. Exactly. So Chelsea has been about trophies all those years. So
I won't be surprised if we end up with a trophy this season, just because of the nature of our club and stuff, and the way Roman Abramovich just demands more and more and more from the manager and the players and stuff. But it's just difficult to predict really with Chelsea, like you said, because one week we'll play really, really well, defend. Like, obviously our defense will be really good. Like, I expect us to defend very well against City on Saturday and stuff. But it's just going forward, can we hurt the likes of Walker, Cancelo, Diaz, Stones, or whoever is playing in the back line? And Mason Mount's obviously going to play. That's just a given. He has to play. I'm not too sure about the front two positions. I'd love it to be Havertz and Pulisic, but I just think Tuchel might rotate a couple of positions. I wouldn't be surprised if Oli Giroud plays, because of he's a master in this competition. He's really good in the FA Cup, and he's got that experience as well. So I guess that as well. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game. And just touching upon trophies and stuff as well. Like, I actually see Chelsea, Man City. Like, fair enough. Like, our clubs don't have the history that say Arsenal, Manchester United have, but I reckon City are sort of following Chelsea in that path of when Roman Abramovich came to us in 2005. Yeah. Then you lot had a mad legacy, or us lot had a mad legacy and stuff, and you guys having the same right now. I actually do feel that Chelsea and City, I think over the next few years, I think we'll go head to head with the league. I think with the squads that we've got, I think. But fair enough, Manchester United are ahead right now and stuff, and other teams, but I don't think they have the strength and depth in the squad that we do. Like, I genuinely think that maybe if Tuchel was here from the start of the season, or if Lampard knew what he was doing and stuff and didn't know how and knew what to do with the players, then I reckon we'd be third or second at the moment with the players that we have as well. But I also want to just see Timo Werner step up as well, because he's been awful this season. Like, fair enough, stats will back it up to say that, he's got our most assists and he's got a few goals, but Just generally speaking about Werner as well. It's good that he's sort of left on the bench as well, just so that he can gather his thoughts and his mind, have a bit of a rest because he's been playing a lot. So I do expect him to come back into one of either the City game or the Brighton game. I won't be surprised just because we have to rotate because of the fixture congestion and the fact that we're in 3 competitions still. So
With Werner, like I'd just like to say something.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Like my best friends are Chelsea fans, and I keep telling them that when Sane came to City, his first season wasn't the best. Like it was not good at all, and we really thought that it's going to be difficult for him to adapt to Guardiola's style, the Premier League, because he's that sort of silky player.
He's really good. I still don't know why you guys sold him. He's really good.
Yeah, so when he came to City, it was sort of like, that he also has ego problems, attitude problems, all of that. So we thought he probably won't be able to adapt to the Premier League. And next season onward, we've seen the next 2 seasons how good he was, and he became Young Player of the Year. Obviously helped in the domestic quadruple and all of that, in the domestic treble and all of that. So that sort of thing, I think that of course people coming from outside, players coming from outside Germany, take time to settle in. It's everybody's not Aguero that they'll come and win you
exactly.
In the first season. So
some players are different. So
will come of age. I think next season. I think that's what every Chelsea fan. I think that's what probably Premier League fans also want because they came for such huge money and we want to see good done. And probably I think that's going to happen. It takes time, and I think I always parallel it to Sane and how he came of age in the second, third season under Guardiola.
Yeah, that's an interesting player because like we obviously bought Werner as a striker, but obviously we're not using him in that way because even Tuchel said that playing Timo up front would be a last resort if our players are injured or not performing. So in that sense, like we've always had our eye on Haaland and stuff. Like obviously City will as well. Do you guys think you'll get Haaland?
It's so tricky, to answer that because I think at this point, Guardiola said in one of his press conferences, we can't afford Haaland or we can't afford a 100.
I don't think anyone can afford Haaland.
Nobody can demanding, this market. So I think that's one of the. I think what every club like Chelsea, Real Madrid, City, they're waiting for is Dortmund's campaign in the Bundesliga. If they somehow miss out on the top 4 in the Bundesliga, then
I think they will. They're 5th at the moment. I think so.
They could easily, and then Haaland's price suddenly probably drops, and then there's going to be a fish market then.
For next season because of his contract and stuff.
180 million is impossible to pay. I think nobody's going to pay that. And Raiola is playing all of his mind games, and he probably doesn't know. Guardiola also played a mind game with him. He said we're not buying him. And City are one of the top 3-4 clubs that actually afford his wages or afford his 150 million transfer fee. And no club would actually want to break their wage structure as well because he's demanding some obnoxious amounts of money per week. So I think nobody wants to do that. And especially I don't think Chelsea because they have new signings from this just a season old. There's sort of a Haaland coming in obviously improves your football, but sort of can disrupt your dressing room as well. Because De Bruyne signed a new contract recently, and now Sterling wants a salary equivalent to De Bruyne, but he's actually not reflecting that on the pitch that he sort of deserves that sort of pay rise like De Bruyne or that sort of effect with De Bruyne. So it's a very sort of grey area with Haaland. Of course, City fans are very excited because his father played for City and.
He did,
We have photos of Haaland in City t-shirt when he was young. He was there in the Feyenoord Champions League game 2017. He was watching the game. He's been to the Etihad so many times. So that sort of thing, gets City fans really excited. And he's like the perfect Aguero replacement. Like for the next Aguero was here 10 years. Haaland can be there for next 10 years. But in terms of price money, in terms of how romantic,
too much.
It's a lot. So it's realistically not possible.
I think from my perspective, I think someone like a Harry Kane or even a Danny Ings, because you lot have been rumoured to get Danny Ings, I think they'll be good signings because what Man City usually do, this is what I've seen as well, is they've sort of got the best from the worst bunch in a sense where the teams that get relegated, they've always bought someone like, for example, they bought Nathan Ake, didn't they, from Bournemouth and stuff, who had a decent season for Bournemouth when they went down. I think they bought a couple of other players as well. Where previous years when they've gone down and they've turned them into really good players, like good squad players. So that's why I wouldn't be obviously Southampton won't go down, but I see Guardiola looking at those sort of mid-table strikers that are doing really well, which is why I think you guys might probably will get Danny Ings or like a Harry Kane.
Even Grealish is being linked, and
yeah, Grealish will. Oh, if you guys get Grealish, like the league's already over, like just generally with City, but like if you guys get Grealish, like it's gonna be crazy, man. But I think with us as well, we've been linked with Haaland as well, just because we're not really involved with Raiola, but apparently he likes sort of the project that Tuchel's building with Chelsea, and he has I think Donnarumma as well as his client, and we've been linked with him as well as sort of like a first/backup goalkeeper as well. So it's looking positive, to be fair. I wouldn't say, but I'm probably like 40% sure we'll get Haaland, but I think it's just so you can't predict where he's going to go.
Of Haaland news. So.
Too much money, too much gossip. That's basically what it is. But just before we wrap this up, then it's only right that we do a combined 11. This is gonna be interesting now. So what formation do you want to go for?
Purely out of this season, or are we?
So we'll go based on form. Do you want to go based on form?
Okay.
Yeah, because like if we're going overall, then obviously Aguero starts up front and stuff.
Exactly.
So I guess we have to do form. So are we sticking with the 4-3-3 formation?
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Sounds good. So this is an interesting one. So who goes in goal? Edison or Mendy, do you think?
I think Mendy.
Because they're the two leading Golden Glove candidates, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
I think in terms of style of play, I think Edison, of course, suits City so well.
Yeah.
There are games when he doesn't have to do anything. There are games when he has to do something. But in terms of him, his passing and all that, it just keeps improving every season. He's got an assist season as well, and that sort of thing. So in terms of I think longevity and in terms of what Edison means to City, like City are not anything without Edison. I mean, you put
that's sort of us with Mendy as well. Without Mendy, we got Kepa in goal. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one because they've both had really good seasons, Edison and Mendy. As I would have said as well, if it wasn't for Mendy, like we wouldn't have conceded so many goals like at the start of the season and stuff. And behind Mount, I think he's been one of our players of the season. So. It's tough. Edison or Mendy? I'll probably say Edison. I'll probably just say Edison, I think. But I don't mind conceding to Edison. So we'll go with Edison and goal. All right, let's go with right back. So for us, our choices are Aspie, Reece James. What about you guys? For you,
Cancelo and nobody else.
Cancelo, yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna like Cancelo's.
Walker is so important for us.
I have a proposition. Could we put Cancelo left back? Because realistically, the left back for both our teams this season hasn't been up to speed. So I think Cancelo goes left back. Oh, are you there? I think he's frozen. Let me just see where he is. Oh, nightmare. Yeah, he'll be back soon. But what I was saying about just Mendy generally, I think that he's just been so good for us this season. Like if you take out some of the errors that he's made, like against Everton and stuff, he's been really good for us just because he's making a lot of saves, especially against Manchester United. He's kept us like a lot of points. Made great saves against like Rashford. Against Greenwood as well, Cavani when he's played as well, and then I always go back to the Leeds game as well. The Leeds game he saved us like quite literally in that game as well. So in that sense, it's a bit it's tough with Mendy because there's been times when you've been frustrated with him because of distribution. Like I remember against Porto and stuff, he could have given the goal away and stuff, but there's been times as well when he's just been excellent for us. Like I said to Mehul just before his thing cut out and stuff, that he's been our player of the season and stuff. So I probably like I wouldn't mind going Mendy, but Edison's just been so good. Like you see the range in his passing and stuff, and he's just been fantastic. And I think regards to like Cancelo left back, and then you got Reece James and Aspie. It's hard. Well, when Mehul gets back, we'll discuss the right back. But I think just generally and stuff, I think Reece James has been like superb this season. Like I know Abhinav might get triggered by me saying that Reece James is better than Trent, but I genuinely think Reece James has been really good this season. Likewise Aspie as well, because he has that versatility of playing in a back three as well as right back as well. And like, this is annoying. If it was over longevity, oh, he's coming back. If it's going off longevity and stuff, I'll probably say Aspie. Likewise, it could be like Aguero as well, but I don't know. Yeah, sorry, I was just speaking to people watching and stuff about longevity, about Aspie and Aguero, and why Mendy's been good, but Ederson's been better. So we decided left back Cancelo. Oh, is he gone again? Oh no, are you here?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. So we've gone Cancelo left back and right back. Yeah, as I was saying just now, like Reece James has been probably our third or fourth player of the season. Aspie's been really good as well, as I was saying, because he's versatile. He can play in the back three as well as right back as well. So it's a tough one. I honestly think they've been better than Walker this season. That's just my opinion, though. So it's a toss-up between Reece James and Aspie. I'd say Reece James. I think Reece James at right back. Okay, here's where it gets interesting now. The two centre-backs. Who are the two centre-backs? Because City and Chelsea, the best defences in the league, as well as the Champions League as well. I forgot to throw that in there as well. We've only conceded 2 goals in the Champions League as well. So
I think Diaz goes in with that.
Yeah, I think Diaz goes in as well. The issue is, do you go Diaz and Stones, or do you go Diaz, Thiago Silva, Christensen, Rudiger? It's tough.
I think in terms of Silva. I want Thiago Silva because I don't think Stones has had those errors which Thiago Silva has had. Like he's had moments, Thiago Silva, where he's had bad games. I think Stones has been extremely consistent in terms.
But Thiago Silva, he's only had what, like 2 bad games this season, which are funny enough both against West Brom.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like Stones has been great. Don't get me wrong. Like this season, he's been really, really good. But I just think the impact of Thiago Silva has had on our defense has been really massive for us with that experience. That's why I'd say Thiago Silva. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think I can do one from each side. Yeah, but I think we need to, we can talk so much about centre backs, right? Of Stones, we can talk so much about Rudiger, Christensen. I mean, I think it's with City and Chelsea, it's been the story of the centre backs.
Literally.
Stones and Diaz have chipped in with goals. Stones has scored 4 goals for us this season, so that's sort of.
If we're talking about goals, then Zuma's got 5 goals.
Exactly. I was coming to that Zuma scored 5 goals. So we can talk so much about centre backs, but yeah, I think Thiago Silva sort of transformed his defense, given it a lot of maturity. And I think Thiago Silva, many people wrote him off. It's they said that he's just retired, he's finished, all of that. But he
ages like fine wine, man. Just like Giroud, man. Like he keeps his body in good condition as well. So I don't know why people say that. To be fair, so are we going with Silva and Diaz as our two?
Diaz, I think that's
that's really good. I've already so just to confirm and stuff, our sort of back 5. So we've gone with Ederson in goal, we've gone Cancelo left back, we've gone Diaz and Thiago Silva as our 2 centre backs, and we've gone Reece James at right back. All right, who goes in the 3? I've already kind of decided who goes in the 3, but I'll say mine. Okay, you go first. Actually, go on.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one, right? Because I think Rodri has been one of our most underrated players this season.
He's been good to be fair,
yeah. Last season, what was happening with Rodri was that, he was sort of in that lone DM position, which Fernandinho has obviously been throughout the years. And Fernandinho does that job really well. He doesn't need sort of another defensive body alongside him. He sweeps everything on his own. But Rodri last season was caught so many times with that in that position. He gives the ball away easily, or probably he gives cheap fouls. That sort of thing was happening. And this season, suddenly Rodri has been one of our most important players, and we've not needed like Gondwan is not alongside him. Gondwan is gone up front almost. He's in
That's
those
true. Yeah.
positions. So Rodri has been alone. He's doing all of the work by himself, and he's been one of our most underrated players. So I really want Rodri to be in that 11. But I think in terms of a combined 11, I
This is
think
the
my
form as well.
three
We're
would
doing our
be,
form as well.
yeah,
So,
my three would be Gondwan, De Bruyne, and Mount. That's what.
okay. All right. No, sorry, just to go back to the centre backs, because I realised this is off form, isn't it? So, Thiago Silva's only played one game, so I can't really go Thiago Silva. It probably has to be Rudiger, right?
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah. All right. Just to confirm again. So it's Cancelo left back, Rudiger and Diaz as the two centre backs, and Reece James right back, and obviously Edison in goal. So, all right. So you're okay. So I think we can both agree that Gundogan and Mount go in that midfield three without a doubt. It's just that final position where it's a bit tough because I could throw Kovacic in there. I could throw Kante. I can throw either of the midfielders in there, or based on form. Like the thing with De Bruyne, I'd probably say. Well, I'd probably say further forward, maybe as like a right winger, maybe, and then have that
But
extra
yeah,
midfield in there. But I
he's
don't
playing
know.
a false nine mostly the season. But I think De Bruyne goes into that. So
De
I
Bruyne,
think,
or it's tough. It's tough. It's tough. But yeah,
but
the
as a
thing
game
is, I
as well, he's
prefer
had a
De Bruyne up
fantastic
further
season.
up forward, and then like have like a CDM sort of there, maybe like
Yeah,
a
because
Jorginho, Kovacic, or Kante, or even like a Rodri, Fernandinho.
there's also a case for Bernardo. Like, he's had a
Or
fantastic season.
Bernardo, yeah, Bernardo. Yeah, Bernardo's been really good. Because this is based off form, remember, as well. So we have to look at the
With Bernardo, I
recent
think what has
game.
happened is what Guardiola has done is that, of course, in the 17, 18, in the 18-19 season, he
He
was
was
on the
so good
right.
that year, man. He was,
Yeah, he was on the right wing and he used to cut in and score those type of goals. This season, his role has completely changed. He's in the center mid sort of area. He defends, presses, sort of does neat little balls with Cancelo, with Gundogan. So he's sort of behind the scenes most of the time because De Bruyne and Gundogan get on the score sheet, but he does all the work, all the hard work before the goal. So I
all
think
right,
that in that
I have a query then. So if this is based off form, does Bernardo get over Gundogan then? Or no, do you
no,
think? No,
no,
okay.
no.
Okay, all right. So Gundogan and Mount, and then who are we going as our final? I don't see. It's annoying because I'd rather De Bruyne play further forward than in the center,
Yeah.
in like a centre mid role. But um, it's tough. All right, okay, but because you're the guest, I'll let you decide.
I it's so difficult because I don't see the front three. Like I'm finding it so difficult to actually picture the front three right now because
I've kind of got an idea of the front three as well, which is why I said
so
De Bruyne as a
we can
right
probably
winger.
do the front three and then see. We can probably
Okay,
go with
yeah.
the front and
Okay,
come back.
okay. For me, this is purely based on form. This is the reason why I'm saying this. I'm saying Pulisic, Havertz, and De Bruyne as the three.
I think if you have to go by form, Mahrez goes in.
Oh
Mahrez
yeah,
has
I
been
forgot about
excellent,
Mahrez. Yeah. Oh,
excellent. The
oh
last
Mahrez. Yeah.
he's
Oh,
been
I
staying
can't ignore
for a couple of
Mahrez
months
actually.
now. That
I can't ignore
Premier League
Mahrez.
club as well. So Mahrez, I think, goes in that right
That's
wing.
true. You're right actually. Yeah, I forgot. I
Yeah,
totally forgot about Mahrez.
yeah.
Does De Bruyne really get in then to this team at the moment based on form? Does
Has to. Because he's been
ah,
excellent in the Champions League game. Both Champions League games, he's been
that's true.
unplayable. He's been there in the Premier League. He's like his season started slow, I think, in terms of like Bruno Fernandes already had so many goals and assists by the time
Mm,
he actually got on the charts. But now he suddenly has around I think 10, 11 assists in the Premier League. He's
that's
having
true
man of the
actually.
match
Yeah.
performances in the Champions League every week. So that sort of thing. I think De Bruyne has to go in, and I think you're also
Okay.
forgetting Phil Foden.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
so
Yeah. Oh my god, there's too many names, man.
there's too
Oh
many.
man. Yeah, to be fair, I don't think Foden gets in just because of form, like right now.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, if this was like an overall season sort of thing, this team would be so different because this is based on
Yeah.
form. Um, yeah, okay, yeah, I don't mind conceding to De Bruyne. To be fair, I love him anyway. Like even though he's a City player, like I do rate him loads. But yeah, we'll go with De Bruyne then, and then I'll be agreeing with Pulisic and Havertz as our two, as in left wing and centre
I think
forward.
I'll take Pulisic, but I don't see Havertz. Like I think he
This is based on form, though. I think on
yeah
form, he's been really good for us in the past
yeah
few
yeah
games. That's why I say Havertz maybe over like a Jesus, a Sterling, or
Yeah.
Aguero hasn't played, but
Yeah.
likewise for us, like he's not like Werner and Giroud haven't been better, but
Yeah.
I'll probably say Havertz and Pulisic as our two with Mahrez on the right.
Yeah, I think Foden has to go over one.
Foden, yeah.
And Havertz.
That's the thing. I think it's tough because I think Havertz has been playing more than Pulisic recently as well.
Yeah,
fair enough, Pulisic started 2 games, but Havertz has been doing well, to be fair, for the past 4 or 5 games.
Yeah.
Which is why I can kind of concede Foden over Pulisic. Okay, yeah, I should have guessed. I'll let you have
that. I think we're done with the team.
I think we're done, yeah. Let's just go for it again then. So we've got Ederson in goal, we've got Cancelo left back, we've got I was gonna say Thiago Silva. No, it's Rudiger and Diaz as the 2. Then we've got Reece James right back. Then our 3 are we've got De Bruyne on the left centre mid, Gundogan in the centre. Then we've got Mason Mount on the right, and then our front 3 is Foden. Who was our striker again?
Foden, Mahrez, and Havertz up top.
Foden, Mahrez, Havertz. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
As our front 3. Yeah, that's a very, very good team. Imagine that team like that. I think Pep would want to win the quadruple with that team. Who knows? But
Havertz probably suit that team as well because he's like a false nine.
Yeah, imagine him under Guardiola. That'd be good. But Dory, he's under Tuchel now. He's doing well for us. But just before we wrap this up, then what's the score prediction for the weekend?
I can see this going to penalties. I have an intuition.
Wow.
Yeah, I can see this being like one.
I hope it goes penalties because City are crap at penalties. So I actually don't mind that.
But you want to know this. In my time supporting City in the last 10 to 12 years, I have never seen us lose a penalty shootout, a competitive game penalty shootout.
But have you had many penalty shootouts though?
We've had a lot of penalty shootouts. I can at least tell you that we've had 8 to 10 to 12 penalty shootouts.
Really?
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen. So in terms of, I think individual penalties, we are pretty crap at that. But I think penalty shootouts, we always do something. I think you remember the Kepa gate, of course.
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah.
What a game!
That's remind me of that. But yeah, what's the actual score prediction then?
I think it's going to be 1-1.
And then go to penalties. Okay.
Yeah.
What, Chelsea win then, or City?
I don't know. I was crapping my pants and Mahrez got up to take that penalty against Dortmund. I thought.
Oh, I'm not surprised. Yeah. I thought he was gonna miss. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I thought that it was like in a moment sort of decision that De Bruyne and Mahrez took, but then later Mahrez in the post match conference he said that.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah.
He's gonna take the next penalty anyway. So I don't know. Happens. Who decides? Guardiola or
you should just let Ederson take it, man. You probably be sick at penalties as well.
Let Ederson take it,
Yeah, but
what is yours?
Say, it's such a hard game to predict, man. It's so tough. I'm gonna say 1-0 to Chelsea. I think it'll be a standard Chelsea performance where we defend well, maybe hit you guys on the counter, which works.
Yeah,
against Manchester City, I
can only imagine a 1-0 when Chelsea get an early goal, sort of inside 20 minutes, that sort of thing. And then City have one of those days when probably nothing happens, and we've had a lot of those days when.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel somewhat confident playing you guys because teams have gone to Manchester City or play Manchester City. So
if you get the early goal, it gets very difficult for City. Then
who are your goal scorers, by the way? You said 1-1, didn't you? So who are your goal scorers?
It's so difficult to even predict who's going to be on the pitch. But I think if Foden plays, I can easily see him scoring. He just rises to the big occasion for some reason.
That's true.
He has such a good record at 20 years against big teams, against Liverpool. Chelsea he's assisted in cup finals and all of that. So I think Foden is the man for the big match. So I think I can easily see him scoring if he starts.
What about for Chelsea?
Chelsea. I have sort of a prophecy for Chelsea this season that Timo Werner is going to score Chelsea's most important goal this season.
It'll be written in the stars. He gets so
which
You're
I
so
told my friend.
scrutinized,
I
but
think it's my prophecy. I think it's going to happen. I think it's sort of going to be a Taurus sort of moment.
oh
That
mate, imagine,
is
oh my
going
god, imagine. I'll be so happy if that happens. But yeah, imagine Timo Werner scores against you guys.
yeah.
No, I'm gonna say it now. I think Timo Werner will get the goal. That's it. No, I'm joking. Now I don't know. I think it's tough. I think if Oli Giroud starts, I think he'll score for us. I think he's just such like you can trust him in the FA Cup. He'll just turn up in the FA Cup and
Yeah.
like cup
Even Pulisic can
semi-finals in
score. I
general.
think even
But
Pulisic has had a couple of good games
yeah,
against
he
City.
has. He has to be fair.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
that's
uh,
just if he starts though. I don't
yeah,
think he'll. I've got a
yeah.
feeling he won't start 3 games in a week. So yeah, I'll probably say Giroud. But yeah, any final thoughts, bro, before we wrap this up?
No, I think I just great fun talking to you.
Yeah,
Very.
no, thanks for jumping on. And if you guys haven't already, check out Mehul's Instagram page and his podcast as well. It's called Talking Barefoot. We'll put the link in the description as well. And yeah, hopefully we see you soon. And hopefully
Yeah.
it's another losing preview for you.
I don't think I'm coming again if we lose. But no, I think there
Anyways,
are good games still left in the season. I think we
yeah.
should be able to do something more.
Sorry, if
More.
you if if if
Yeah.
you, if you lose this one, I'm definitely hitting you up for next preview, whether that's in the league or maybe Champions League final. You never know; it could happen.
You never know. You never
Yeah,
know.
you never know. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe to our channel as well as follow Mehul's Instagram, like I said before. We'll put the link in the description. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.